Bob, thank you so much for being here tonight. Are you ready for a great night of laughter and entertainment? Thanks, Gary. All right. You know, Mel Brooks said that his goal in making movies was to get people to laugh so hard that they would literally fall out of their chairs into the aisles, rolling around, roaring in laughter. Now, how many of you are over 60 years old? Can you please applaud? All right. I'm 67 years old, and the last time I fell, I broke my hip. So I encourage everybody to have a great night, laugh like crazy, please, but no falling. Now, I grew up with some of the great comedians, Red Skelton, Jack Benny. Red Skelton was the one comedian that is said never told a dirty joke, ever. Now, I do not suffer from that malady. In fact, I've rarely ever told a clean one, so I have a serious challenge tonight. No swearing, no dirty jokes, and I'm in a show. I've got to tell the truth. So, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to tell true stories. My mama told me when I was just a little boy, she said, "Meshula, you can never get in trouble if you tell the truth." However, she didn't tell me, I subsequently found out, that I can get a lot of other people in trouble by telling the truth. Now, I have breakfast every morning with a bunch of guys here who are all getting a little nervous right now. I thought about changing the names to protect the innocent. They're all guilty. What am I going to do? So when I tell you I'm going to tell you true stories, let me explain that they're all true. Now, they're either true about me, or they're true about some of the other people here, or they're the ones I made up, but they're all true. The second thing to understand is that I have no trouble telling the truth because I always tell the truth. I never lie. That's the good news. The bad news, that's a lie. Oh, that's a whopper. I think Mace never tells whopper lies. Anyway. So what I'm going to do here is talk about how many people have ever heard when you turn 60, you know, it's kind of depressing, you're old. And somebody says, no. 60 today is the new 40. Anybody hear that? That is a crock. That is a crock of kinky doodles. I can't swear. So let me deal tonight with that issue. First and foremost, are we good here? First and foremost,
Louder.
how's that? That's better. Okay. So let me demonstrate. If nothing else, let me just picture's worth 1,000 words. What a 60-plus-year-old body looks like.
No.
Let me demonstrate what a 60-year-old body getting ready to play golf looks like. I must be back race on the other room. Look at it.
Forrest.
When I was in my 40s, I did not have to put on a suit of armor to play golf. I can assure you it's a lot harder putting them on than taking them off, kind of like underwear. Now, there's the northern hemisphere to the body, there's the southern hemisphere to the body, and then there's the equator. North and south shouldn't present me with too many problems. The equator, on the other hand, will be a little testy. I'm going to leave the south out because for time. And start just with the north. You know, starting up here, anybody over 60, how's your memory these days? As good as you were in your 40s?
Perfect.
No? I gotta tell you. I can't even remember what my memory was like in my 40s. I walked into my office the other day, I walked into my office. It's a very small house, apparently. I had no idea. I was sitting in my lanai. I was watching TV. I got up. I walked from the lanai to the office. No idea why. As if that isn't bad enough. I think that happens fairly frequently. The other night, I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. Now, in my 40s, I could sleep the whole night through. In my 60s, not a chance. So I get up to go to the bathroom. It's a multi-purpose chair. I get to the bathroom. It's only like 10 seconds from the bed to the bathroom. I've got no idea what I'm doing there. Now, I've learned a lesson from women over the years. Men are stupid. Women know this from the day they're born. Men have to figure it out. And that is, anytime you see a bathroom,
You go.
use that bathroom. Because you never know when the next one's going to show up or what it's going to be like.
It's gotta be a clean bathroom.
That's right. So, I got in the bathroom. There's the toilet. Sit down. In my 40s, maybe it's sit, maybe it's stand. In my 60s, sit down. Everything's going to take 20 minutes no matter what. More about that when we get to the equation. I get up. Nothing. I go back to bed. 5 minutes later, I'm back in the bathroom, of course, at the medicine cabinet, opening, getting the aspirin for the headache, which is why I went in there in the first place. Now think about this. Not only can I forget what happened 3 minutes ago, but I can't even remember what's happening while it's happening. Moving south down now. You want to make a lot of money in Florida? It's very easy. Open a hearing aid kiosk. All you got to do. Nobody can hear anything in Florida. You know, location, location, location. Where's the best place? Anywhere. The middle of the Everglades. The alligators need them. Nobody can hear anything. Breakfast with the guys in the morning. I come down there. There's 6 guys and 9 conversations going on all at the time. You would think it defies the laws of physics. Nope. I'll give you an example. One guy's trying to tell the next guy that he sent his wife to a conference in Colorado. He says, yeah, I put my wife up in a beautiful hotel in Boulder. The guy he's talking to says, your wife's in the hospital? The next guy says, yeah, she got hit by a boulder. The next guy says, is she going to sue? The next guy says, no, you idiot. His wife's name is Nancy, not Sue. And the next guy says, Shul, anybody going tonight? I need a ride. This is what it goes on every morning. It drives me insane. I can't wait to lose my hearing. I'm the only person in Florida who can hear. They should rename the state from the Sunshine State to the Deaf Ear State, because everybody has at least one, and most have 2. Moving down. The tummy. In my 40s, I could pretty much eat whatever I wanted. Right? Not gain weight. My 60s, I'm eating half of what I used to eat, and I gained weight. I had a belly out here. It was unbelievable. In fact, my goal was to lose 115 pounds so I could consider myself merely fat. I had no interest in regular. Just wanted to get back to merely fat. Now, doctors have all these charts as to what, your height and weight, and then they got a little BMI. Sounds more like Drek as me. Anyways, they pinch, they do, the body mass index. There's 3 simple tests to know whether you're fat, whether you're obese,
fine.
or whether you're morbidly obese. And this is what I look at to make sure I'm fat. Okay, I lost 115 pounds, I'm fat. But I'm worried about getting obese or morbidly obese. 3 simple tests. Ready? If you get winded tying your shoes, you're fat. Fat people do not like wearing shoes, as you can see. When I play golf, I have to put on golf shoes with laces and those knee braces. By the time I'm done, I need a half-hour nap. Next test. If you start to lose consciousness while cutting your toenails, you're obese. Very simple test. And then morbidly obese, which is why I needed to do something. I was getting to pre-diabetes, but I was morbidly obese. The test for morbidly obese is if, for whatever reason, you need to do a genital self-exam, get out the mirror. No matter how hard I tried pressing on that mountain, trying to peer over the edge of the mountain, there was no view down into the valley. Moving on. The kidneys, the intestines. All I'm going to say about that is that when you turn 65, you should get a package from the government saying, "Welcome to Medicare. Enclosed, please find 3 samples of stool softener." Good luck. All right, now it's time to get to the equator. This is going to be dangerous. We got number 2, we got number 1. We here we go. We'll start with number 2. In your 40s, when you gotta go, you go. Not a big deal. Takes a few minutes, you're done, off you go. If you're sick, or if you ate something terrible, then it's bad. But other than that, it's good. There's 2 classifications, good or bad. That's it. Okay? In your 60s, there's now 5 classifications. Don't worry, I'm not going to get textual out of here. There's great, there's good, there's bad, there's very bad, and then there's terrible. What was good in your 40s is now great in your 60s. Expect it to happen 2, maybe 3 times a year. Good, anytime you make it to the porcelain on time, it's good. I don't care what happens after that, it's good. Bad, out go the undies. Come on, it's like it never happened to anybody here. Very bad, you can toss the trousers too. And terrible, well, it's time to trade in the car. As many of you know, last March, I traded in my car. But I'm no dummy. Fooled me once. I got a convertible. No matter what happens, that car can be aired out. Number 1. Where's the rabbi? Number 1. First, a little bit of background for this routine. In my 40s, I was 5 feet 9 inches tall. In my 60s, I'm 5 feet 7 inches tall. Also for background, how many people remember the Seinfeld episode where George got out of the pool? Remember the shrinkage episode? So I'm walking to the shower, and I pass by, when I turn on the shower, I pass by the mirror, and I stop and look. And I look down. And I look down. I'm no longer obese, I can look down. And I look up, and I think to myself, Maish, you didn't just get out of the pool.
Very good.
What the hell happened? And immediately I'm brought to a memory of a rock and roll band from the 1960s called Big Eddie and the Stallions. They tried to make a comeback 20 years later, and they renamed themselves Baby Leroy and the Shetland Ponies. It didn't work so well for them. They were never booked again. They couldn't book a date. And I suspect after this routine, I may have the same kind of problem. If we're gonna do number one, we gotta do number one. So, in my 40s, I'm standing there, and it's like the mighty Amazon. In my 60s, it's a leaky faucet. Hence the 20 minutes I talked about earlier. So, I understand that the prostate is going to be a little different from your 40s to your 60s. This just is the way it is. But in my 40s, the prostate is your friend. He behaves himself. In your 60s, not so much. And as if the leaking faucet isn't bad enough, I look one day and it's a rusty leaking faucet. Now this requires immediate action. Men are very, very uptight about this particular area. And by immediate action, I should explain the male version of the medium. It means after the 2 weeks you wait, in case maybe it'll go away. Then you go to the doctor. So I go to the doctor. I go to the urologist. She's 6'2", 230, and mean. She sends me for various tests. They call me back in, and they explain to me that I'm going to get a scope someplace, which I'm not going to be very happy about. They said, don't worry, we numb it. I'm thinking, numb it? Novocaine, the dentist, the needle, what? They said, no, nothing like that. We use a topical. So now I'm getting kind of interested. Topical? My experience with topicals, Ben-Gay, KY, and Preparation H. You rub it in, right? I'm thinking, do I get to choose the nurse? They explain, no. It doesn't work that way. They inject it with a syringe and a needle. So I'm thinking to myself, this is going to hurt. But the good news, because I'm always the optimist, is that at least with the shrinkage, the journey won't be as long. That's got to help. So I go in for the test. It wasn't as bad as I thought. Okay? The heavy narcotics that I took beforehand probably helped. But anyways, like I said, the test itself, I don't have cancer, everything's fine. The test itself wasn't so bad. But when you have to go for the next 3 days, it's like being 8 days old all over again. Anyways, let me wrap up, because I definitely have gone too long. But let me just say that if anybody ever says to you again that 60 is the new 40, you've got ammunition to dispute that. And you tell them that Mace says 60 is the new 40, the new 40 sucks. Thank you very much.